Yo, what's going on everybody, TrickzKamikaze here, and today we're going to be discussing what S-rank hero is going to die or possibly die in this Monster Association plan. Before we get into the video, please subscribe if you want to see more anime content. I'll be uploading daily, and thank you. I just wanted to be known that I have not read the One Punch Man webcomic, so if anything has happened in there, I don't know. So we're just going to be guessing it based off of the manga. So what I'm going to be explaining in this video is which S-class hero I most likely expect to die during this mission. And I'm going to round up all the people that's doing this association mission, and I'm going to rank them, and I'm going to see which one has a higher chance of dying than the other one. And we're going to be going from highest chance to die to lowest chance to die. Okay, so first up is King. It's pretty obvious why I put King here. He's not that strong. He is pretty strong though in his own way. He has amazing luck and bad luck if you really want to call it that, because he attracts enemies. But his King engine is so powerful that he can instill fear into enemies, so he probably doesn't even have to fight. And if he were with Saitama, he could also allow Saitama to protect him, because they got that kind of deal going on. So. But we don't even know if they're going to meet up, because Saitama is currently with Flashy Flash, so we're going to have to wait and see about that. So yeah, for number 11 is definitely going to be King. And next up on my list is going to be Child Emperor. And don't get me wrong, Child Emperor is really strong. And that definitely comes from his intellect and his ability to make plans. And the reason he's number 10 on my list is because he's almost run out of equipment, and he's going back into the monsters den. So he's going to have to fight even more tougher opponents than his last one. But he is smart, and he does always have something up his sleeve. I don't think he would go back in there if he didn't have a plan. And don't forget, he also has his backpack, which had Brave Giant, he had a Sentry in there, an invisible wall, and a tactical pencil case. Those are just a few samples of the large amount of weapons he has in that backpack. So for now, he'll be number 10. Okay, next up is Peri Peri Prisoner. And some of y'all might be saying, well, how are you going to put Child Emperor above Peri Peri Prisoner even though he's a lower level than him in terms of S-rank class? Next up is Peri Peri Prisoner. Yes, he is weaker than Child Emperor when it comes to brains, but he is getting stronger the more he fights in the Monster Association, but we just don't know his fate after his fight with Garo. But of course, he was just knocked out by Garo, so we could just assume that he isn't dead. And he also has a lot of potential to grow stronger. He's also much more durable than Kid Emperor, plus he has a healing factor. And besides the already good healing factor, he has Angel Shots, which is basically a bunch of syringes that can heal him. So unless he's killed off fast or knocked out fast and then killed, I don't see him really losing any more bouts. Or if he does, it's not going to be that severe because he'll just heal. Okay, next up is Super A-Lord Darkshine. And honestly, if it wasn't for his fight with Garo, he would probably be number 1 or 2 on this list. But basically with him, he's just super strong and he doesn't take any damage. So compared to the 3 people above him, he's way stronger durability and strength wise, so you can't really beat him in that department. And the only people we've seen that's been able to damage him is Garo. And Garo was having trouble with him at first, but then he started to take over and he was having no problem fighting Super A-Lord Darkshine. And with him, I don't relatively see him dying, I just see him giving up, because after his fight with Garo, he was traumatized. And he realized he never wanted to put his life on the line again, so we're just gonna have to wait and see until the next chapter. Okay, next up is Drive Knight. And for right now, he's probably not gonna die because he's experimenting on one of the monsters to progress one of his weapons or whatever. So he's not gonna be fighting anytime soon. But even if he was to fight, he wouldn't have that much trouble because he defeated one of the dragon level villains. Plus he's very durable and he has a unique fighting style, and he has a ton of weapons and abilities, so he's basically his own military. Next up is Genos, and Genos shouldn't have that much problem defeating some of the Monster Association members, because he is very powerful and he is very fast considering he was able to keep up with Speedo Sonic. And they were both moving fast in the sound, and he's most likely gotten way faster than that, so we just have to see. But the latest update to his body has made him more offensive than defensive. So if he encounters a level dragon enemy that's faster than him or even stronger than him that he can't keep up, he'll most likely lose. But even if they are faster than him, he also has his adhesive gel to stop them, so that's something. He also has a new ability where he can go full power for 10 seconds, but if he tries to go beyond that, he might kill himself. But I have faith in Genos being able to survive, so let's go on to the next person. Next up is Bang, and Bang is not weak by any means, but he does have trouble fighting monsters because most of his fighting style is based around humans. Of course, that doesn't mean he can't fight monsters, as shown in his battle with Elder Centipede. But he does need to have more one-on-one battles because most of his battles we've seen so far has been with his brother. Because right now, during the Monster Association, he would not have been able to defeat Orochi's dog unless he was with his brother, including Fubuki, of course. So even though the odds are turning out his favor, I still don't think he would lose, even if he was by himself. Okay, next up is Flashy Flash, which he hasn't had that much trouble fighting anybody. The only problem he really did have was against Gale Wind and Hellfire Flame. And even then, that battle was kind of mid. He didn't have that much trouble fighting them, so I could definitely see him living as well. You would think he would have trouble with them because it was necessarily a good battle before they went into monsterization, but even after it was no problem for him. Plus he has Saitama with him right now, so there's really no way he's gonna die at this point. Anybody that has Saitama with them is pretty much good to go. Okay, and next up is Atomic Samurai, and things aren't looking too good for Atomic Samurai. At first he was dominating the fight with Black Sperm, but it turns out he's losing right now. And to be fair, Black Sperm is the worst possible enemy he could possibly fight. The more he fights him, the more duplicate Black Sperms he has to fight. And stuff isn't really looking good for him right now, so it's actually possible that he might die, but we're gonna have to see. Okay, next up is Pig God. Pig God doesn't really have a fighting style whatsoever. He just eats his opponent and he's really durable. And he's also very strong because he has to physically pick up those people and consume them, so. He also hasn't lost a match. The closest he has gotten to a match was being eaten by a monster, but he pulled himself out of that and ended up eating the monster himself. So far he hasn't had any trouble. Okay, now last and final one is Tatsumaki. No one has even landed a hit on Tatsumaki, so that's just how powerful she is. She was beginning to get some sort of a challenge with her fight against Psychos, but she was holding back to make sure she didn't hurt anybody that was around her that she didn't want to attack. But now she's finally going to start fighting at full power, and if she's anything like we've seen before, she shouldn't have any problem taking her down. Okay, and for my last one, it's definitely going to be Zombie Man, because you can't really defeat him unless you fully evaporate him. And he's been killed at least 200 plus times, but that doesn't stop him, he keeps on coming back. So until a monster fully annihilates him, he's just going to keep on living. So that's the end of my list. How do you guys feel about it? Do you like it? Tell me in the comment section below. If you want to follow me on my social medias, they'll be in the description below. I'm always active on there, so if you want to talk to me, make sure you contact me through there. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys later.